Hi guys, welcome to the unboxing and quick review of this Florida SUN Kefir or Kefir, depending on your preference. This is what you get when you order that on Amazon. I mean, when you go to floridasunKefir.com, you will be redirected to Amazon and then you order it from there, but it will be delivered directly from their headquarters. So I got it within just 2 days. It's really important that you get it in really short time because it's a living culture. It shouldn't be exposed too long for very hot or very cold weather. So this is awesome. I just got it in under 48 hours. I mean, this was the envelope, then it was protected with this plastic and this bubble wrap, and here is what we get. And I just wanted to show you that because this is 2021 and every now and then there is a little bit of a change. I have already bought this a couple of years ago and they have changed the whole thing, the whole process a little bit. And these are the 2 cups of kefir grains or kefir grains, and there's already some instructions. Add 1 tablespoon of molasses in your recipe to start the first fermentation. Yeah, a lot of people are recommending this. My preferred brand is this one here, Grandma's Molasses Original. This you can buy pretty cheap here at Publix. And I'm also using this brown sugar based on the recipe. You can check here, there's everything described, how much you should add. What's really important is not to put the kefir grains in direct contact with the sugar. Yeah, that's really important. And also don't put it in direct contact with cheap metal. Regarding stainless steel, there's a big controversy regarding that. I've always been using stainless steel, and I'm still really convinced that everything which is stainless steel, I mean some things which cannot rust, it's not corroding, it's not interacting with the kefir, but there is some controversy. Some people are saying you shouldn't do that, so it's your own decision if you want to do that. I never had any problems with that. But never put it in direct contact with sugar, so make sure all your sugar and molasses is dissolved before you put the kefir grains in contact with the water, which includes or has the added sugar. And what's also important, not to use chlorinated water. Don't use your tap water, so either you just buy bottled water from the supermarket or use filtered water. That's really important. Yeah, by the way, there's a lot of information which we get in nice cards, even water protected. Of course, regarding the feedback, then how to store. Yeah, there seem to be 2 possibilities. One is to store it for a couple of days in the fridge, and the other one is dehydrating. Dehydrating has never worked for me. I've been trying. I had so many spare grains which were like growing after I've been cultivating the kefir, and it has never been working for me, but some people have been successful. So probably this is the easier one if you really need to take a break, like for a couple of days of vacation or so. Here's also some more introduction, I think. Maybe you can read that if you're interested, but there's the website anyway. I mean, there's the thing there, Florida SUN Kefir, which leads you directly to the Amazon website where you can order that, but there's also an ebook which you can find. I think the link is also down here. Some of the recipes, and then actually the most important thing, that's this card here, and this is really awesome. They have improved that. That hasn't been here a couple of years ago. You can see for every size the adequate amount of sugar and water and everything what you need. Let's say we have this 1 quart here, 1 liter. This is the thing which makes 1 quart or 1 liter. We have the kefir grains add one enclosed portion cup, that's one of these things. Then we have to add 30 ounces or 1 liter of water, like filtered water or bottled water. Then dissolved sugar, that's really important, dissolved sugar, 3 level tablespoons, and 1 tablespoon of molasses. I'm going to do that right now. But first thing, yeah, it hasn't been mentioned, or maybe I just missed that. I mean, I haven't been reading everything carefully. What I recommend is to rinse it at the beginning when you get it. I mean, as far as I know, they are doing a really good job. I'm trusting them, and yeah, the first things which I got, they have been really growing like crazy. They have been multiplying years ago, and they have been in really good condition when I got them, and also here they are looking really good. So I'm trusting this company, but you never know. So whenever you get this thing, I would highly recommend to rinse it. So I have this jar here. So this is empty here, and I'll put this filter here, or this strainer. It's a metal one. It's a really nice construction. You can use it with or without this strainer here. So I'll put it here, and I'll pour these grains here. Yeah, I'll smell a little bit on these, so I'll be able to tell you what I think about the quality. Yeah, I was smelling on them, and they had a perfect taste. Yeah, I would say there is absolutely nothing wrong with them. Absolutely in perfect condition. You can see that also here. They have a really nice size, shape, color, everything looking absolutely fantastic. And I have some filtered water here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse these things, so I'm absolutely sure that everything is nice and clean. So you want to be safe, especially during COVID times and so on. I think this could be a good idea. A lot of people are doing this when they get their first batch. Some people even dispose their first batch. I think it was recommended a couple of years ago in the description when I got this thing. It was recommended to dispose the first batch. So when you're doing this here, so now we have the clean grains here. I'm not leaving them too long in contact with the metal. I mean, I'm not worried about the metal, but I don't want to overexpose it to the metal. So we have it here. I'm going to dispose this thing here. So we are using the sugar here 3 times, 1, 2, and 3 about. Yeah, doesn't have to be exactly the right amount. I've seen so many different recipes. Don't be worried about that. Some people even do it without the molasses. Some people use other stuff. I mean, it's so different. So I'm using the molasses here. What's recommended, of course, is to use a little bit of hot water, just a little bit, and then dissolve the sugar. And then after it's dissolved, you can use cold water. You definitely shouldn't pour the kefir grains into hot water. Yeah, that wouldn't be good. So if you use cold water right from the beginning, of course it will take much longer to dissolve the sugar. So it took me only about 1 minute with room temperature water to dissolve the sugar and the molasses, and I'll give a little bit of extra time to make sure everything is really nicely dissolved, because this would be really bad. Even though I have seen people pouring in the kefir grains directly into water, which still is containing the sugar grains, and some people were saying, yeah, it doesn't hurt, or it didn't hurt them. Yeah, it's crazy, but you see so much different stuff. I think it's perfectly dissolved. I'll give it an extra stir here, but I think I'm absolutely ready here. So I have the kefir grains here, and I can pour them into here. So I think that's perfectly ready. I'll put this thing on top, so it's nicely protected, but it cannot be contaminated. That's really important, that there is some kind of loose protection, but there's still but it still allows air to come in and out if there's something going on. I mean, after some time you will see the grains going up and down, and this will indicate that the grains are really living and reproducing and multiplying. And yeah, I would definitely check every day what's going on, and after about 3 days you should be able to drink this thing. Just leave it on your countertop. Avoid any direct sun, that's important. Don't overexpose it to heat and sun and these things, but I think it should be good to go here. Maybe if you want to be perfectly safe, then just dispose the first batch and then filter again. Yeah, do same thing here, filter the grains with filtered water and then repeat the whole thing. And you can even do a second fermentation that's described here, and you can use some fruits. I've been also successful to use some fruits directly into here. There are so many different variations. I think you can find a lot, but yeah, at the moment it's looking really good. I'll finalize this video after 3 days when we'll see how it has been developing, but at least at the moment it's looking very good. So I've decided to report here every day from the situation which is ongoing. I haven't done anything, I left it like this, but there's nothing going on. So I will show you the situation every day, so you can compare to the situation what you have at home. So usually what I have been expecting, that these grains are going up and down. This is what usually happens when they are alive, so there's nothing going on. So I don't know what's the situation here. The problem what I have found is that obviously the package has been outside sitting in my mailbox for 24 hours and I haven't been noticing that. Usually packages are delivered to my front door, but not in this case. Unfortunately, the delivery dropped it in my mailbox, which is rather small, but it looks like this was small enough to fit into the mailbox, and it's dropped down, and I only found it 1 day later. So I'm not sure how active they are at the moment. I mean, the taste or smell was actually good at the beginning, and I think I haven't done anything wrong, so I'll give it a little bit of a time. So what I've also found, that usually when you order these things, they are more like in an inactive status, so it needs some time till they come up to full speed, so I'm not too worried at the moment. So here we are on day 2. There's not much changed here. Yeah, I'll remove this thing here. And even when I move it around, I mean, I have been moving this a couple of times per day to make sure all the sugar is evenly distributed and they have enough to eat, but there's nothing going on. So usually there should be the grains going up and down, but it's not doing anything. So I stir a little bit with this straw here. I mean, they are not looking bad. I have the impression that the water, the color of the water is a little bit lighter, less dark, so this would probably mean that it is consuming some of the sugar. I'll take a sip here at the moment. It's not a really good taste. I don't like that. I mean, it's not really sugary, but also not very sour. It's somewhere in between, but they're not doing anything. So what I'm doing now is I replace the whole thing. I'm not really happy with this thing. I think there is not much sugar in it, so I'm not waiting for another day, because I have the impression that they may could starve already. The grains are large. I have to also figure out if they have been growing, so I'll drain them through this drainer and check if there are more, but I think they haven't been multiplying. So I do the same thing as I did at the beginning and then go from there, but I'm not going to drink. This is not really tasty at the moment, so maybe it's just because of the first batch, or they are dying off, or I don't know. So I keep going with a new batch. I just reuse this thing here, for a new batch, and I'll dispose the water here. So I've been rinsing it with filtered water. So I'm ready here for the new batch. I have been rinsing the whole thing. I mean, I have been filtering this thing out here in this strainer. I have been rinsing it with fresh filtered water, and here I have 1/3 of a cup, and you can see there is a lot of grains. There are a lot of grains left here. So it looks like it has been growing somehow. So I put this thing back here. This is new fresh batch here with the sugar and the molasses already dissolved inside. And yeah, try this again for about 1, 2, 3 days. Let's see what happens. But you can see there's really a lot, and there were even quite some grains going down the drain, which I've missed here in the strainer. So it looks like it was multiplying like crazy. Yeah, I think I didn't add so many at the beginning. I mean, at least according to the listing, it says 1/4 of a cup, and here I have even 1/3 of a cup, which is more, and I have a lot of left. So looks like they are growing. I don't know why they didn't smell so good, but I mean, it was my first batch, so I'm not too worried about that. I'll cover this and try tomorrow. Yeah, so I'm here on day 2 of the second batch, and it doesn't look too good. I have the impression that it is a little bit lighter brown, so it probably has been consuming some of the sugar, but the real problem is that the grains are not going up and down. As far as I know, it should be the case. There's just one thing here which has been coming up, but not really up and down. Yeah, I'm trying to taste this thing here. So it is really sour, which actually indicates for me that it has been consuming the sugar, but also it could be that it is not really doing well anymore. So it had either not enough sugar, or I kept it too long, or there's something of a problem. So the size of the grains are not looking too bad. What I have bought, I have bought this thing here. I got this thing from Walmart, I think $2.90 or so, close to $3. It has this strainer here, which I'm going to try. It should be good, at least hopefully for the larger grains. So I'm going to try this thing here. I've been washing and cleaning everything thoroughly. By the way, what I've done wrong is the water. I mean, I've been using filtered water. It has been pretty long since I've done this last time, and I couldn't remember that even filtered tap water, even when you're using a good filter, it's probably not enough, because just the charcoal filter doesn't filter all the bad stuff which they add to make the water bacteria free. So you have actually 2 possibilities for the water. I would say you can buy spring water or filtered water. I mean, filtered bottled water, and filtered bottled water is usually reverse osmosis. If you're not sure, you can look at the bottles, and I mean, you can produce your own reverse osmosis water. If you have an expensive filter, you can do that at home. I unfortunately don't have it, so I'm going to move everything here. I hope I can do that here. So let's see if that works. Yeah, it's not too bad. At some point we have to start with the grains as well. They are not looking unhealthy. There's quite some foam. I have never seen that. It's really crazy amount of foam. Yeah, I think it has been overdue. I've been taking a couple of large sips, and it's not bad. I would say it tastes actually good. I'm just still wondering why the grains are not coming up and down, but maybe it's only working when you have some fruits inside. By the way, if you're using fruits, you have to be really careful. only use organic, and make sure you wash, rinse them really thoroughly. A lot of these fruits which people are recommending to put into the kefir, they have a lot of coating, like anti-fungus coating. Also the lemons, and especially raisins, which a lot of people are recommending, they have really, really bad coating. I mean, it's not unhealthy for you, but it's definitely unhealthy for the kefir. So I think it has been doing good. So somehow now let's see if we can pour this in. Yeah, these are really still very large grains, and you can see there's a lot here. So now I have all of them here, and I can't grab this thing. This is a little bit bad, so I have to move them over manually with a plastic spoon. But you can see how many these are. I mean, when I started this batch here, I had just 1 cup of these things here, and you can see, I would say that this has at least doubled or almost tripled in just 1 batch. I would say, yeah, definitely doubled. Yeah, also a lot of them have been falling down, and we have it already full, more or less, and there are still so many. It's crazy actually how many we have here. So it looks like they are really, really healthy, doing well. And so I'm going to rinse them with fresh water, start a new batch, and I think everything is good. Maybe I have to reduce the amount of grains or lower the temperature, add more sugar, reduce the time, so those things which you can do. But watch this thing here. It has been, I've been adding, for the last batch, I've been adding this amount, and now we have these things, so everything is looking really good. I think I can finish now the whole experiment, the whole unboxing review, everything, and then I can give you full recommendation on that, because it's doing really good. And I hope I've been able to help you a little bit with this video. If you have any questions or comments, just write to the comment section below. I'm always happy to talk about these things. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.